Hey everyone, good morning. Happy Sunday morning. It is March 30th, almost through March, getting closer to my NCL Prima cruise, which is only 2 days away. Busy next few weeks here. Going to have the Prima, and then right after that, hypothetically, going on the inaugural of the MSC World America, which looks good. I can actually open it up in my cruise thing now on MSC for me. I can't do anything, but at least it shows me 10 days till my cruise. So 10 days till my cruise, everything looks good. I'll take it. It's a win. So busy next couple weeks. I'll be away on Prima for 5 days and then on the World America. So it's going to change up the schedule for the next few weeks a little bit, but not anything too crazy. We're still going to try to do the live stream this Wednesday. Following Wednesday, we shall see. That is the day we are getting on the World America. Depending on what time we're getting on the ship, I might try to do a live stream before we get in, because I think check-in is going to be at 8:30 at night. That's wild. So we shall see. We'll see what happens there. I might go live from the ceremony, but I'm sure everybody will be doing that. So we'll see what goes on. Matt Ryan, good morning. Hope you are having a great Sunday. Hey, Robin. Hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday as well. Hey, Nicole. Good to see you. Hope you are having a great day. Ryan continually making us jealous here. Good morning. Greetings from the NCL Jade docked in Nassau. Ryan, I feel like you've been away for 3 weeks, which is amazing. I hope you are having a wonderful time. How's Nassau? How's the weather? Is it nice out this morning? It's a little chilly here. It's supposed to go up to 74 today, but it does call for rain later. But it was beautiful yesterday. We had an outstanding day yesterday. Judy and I went to New Hope, which is this cute little area in Pennsylvania, Bucks County here. We went there, went out to dinner. We had a very, very awesome day here in the Philadelphia area. Edward Clayton, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well out there in the boondocks. Hope everything's going well for you guys. Let's talk a little cruise news this morning. We have a decent amount of cruise news, nothing crazy. So again, I just want to put a little caveat out there. There were a couple really awful stories in cruising this week. And we choose not to talk about those for no other reason than, look, here's the thing. I am certainly not a journalist, right? That's 100% truth. I'm not a journalist. I also don't want to, if people are going through terrible things, like a family member's going through terrible things, and maybe they go on YouTube to try to get away from things, I don't want them watching my dumbass talking about their tragedy that happened to their family. So we choose not to talk about those things. It's not like I don't see them. I see them. I know that they're going on. And it's not like it's all we want to say, like cruising's all sunshine and roses. It's not. There are things that happen, of course, just like everywhere else. I just choose not to talk about those things. So I know horrible things happened this week, and I saw them, and we're not going to talk about it. It's terrible. We'll move on. Greg Custer, good morning. Hope you are having a wonderful Sunday as well. First bit of cruise news is Norwegian is expanding a little differently than some other cruise lines are expanding. So Norwegian has announced that they see a huge expansion into the Indian cruise market. I think this is kind of brilliant. If you've been on any cruise, we have a lot of clients that are from India. And if you are on any cruise ships, there is a good amount. Obviously, we see a lot of people from China. Chinese people really love cruising. There's a lot of cruise ships over in China that go over there. It's a little bit of a different experience. It's very much shopping and casino heavy, but there is a big contingent of Indian cruisers as well. So India's government is making concerted efforts to grow the industry as well. They are really looking into conducting studies over there over the next year, which is going to end up in September of this year. They're going to start October of this year to develop new cruise terminals and marinas in India. And then 27 to 29, they're going to try to connect all those together and start big time cruising out of India. I find this to be really interesting. I would love to go to India. And I think cruising might be a great avenue to go to India if you're not interested in like a land tour or staying there for an extended period of time. Maybe just going off, doing an excursion and checking it out, which is some of the things that we love about cruising a ton, is that you get a little taste of an area. Black Broadway Lady, how are you? Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Next bit of cruise news. I know we talked about this a little bit on Wednesday, but this is the cruise news. Royal Caribbean has changed up the key a little bit, not in any significant way that I'm aware of. I looked at it. I really reviewed it because Judy and I are looking at getting the key for our cruise. I'm actually going to check the price on it now since I just brought it up. The price of the key has gone up, and the perks of it have not gone up. I used to be a pretty big proponent for the key if you enjoy dropping off your luggage, the little drop off there at the dining room. If you enjoy the initial like lunch there, if you enjoy getting different options for seating when you go to a ice skating show or something, you don't have to rush. You can get the cool seats there. But now it's getting more expensive, and I don't really see the upside of it. So that's just my perspective on it. And I do like it. I like it in the $30 range. I don't like it in the $50 range, which I think is insanity. And is still $50. So nope, pass. But they did change it so that they don't do it's like 25% off sporting activities now. Just a minor changes to it, which I don't really care about. Tony Diaz, good morning from Mi Casa of the Seas. Tony, good morning. Hope you are having a wonderful morning. I'm in Mi Casa of the Seas as well. Sandy, good morning. How are you doing? How's the baby? How's everything going? I talked to Emily this week. I know she's on a cruise. Is she on a cruise today? Tomorrow is she leaving? I think she said tomorrow. Let me know. Tony, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're having a great day. Next bit of cruise news. This is a really weird one, right? So this isn't really cruise news. This is like a John Heald, something that popped up. And something that bothers me that people do sometimes. I don't know why people do this. However, whatever. You can do whatever you want. I am not the arbiter of what you do on cruises. God knows. Do whatever you want. But one of the things that I saw this week, and I've seen it a bunch of times, and I always forget to talk about it, is the people that spell out like the room steward's name in dollars on the bed. This is like a big thing sometimes. First of all, they're ones. How dare you? Like, if you're going to make somebody work, I'm counting it now. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably $50. How dare you make somebody count out $50 and clean up your mess because you wanted to have like a fun thing that you could post on your social media. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here it is. So this is what they did. They wrote thank you to their room steward on the bed in money, right? Whatever. If you want to do this, by all means, go ahead and do it. I just think it's rude. How about you just hand them the money, right? It's super degrading for you to like spell out something on the bed. I've seen a number of iterations of this where they make designs around the room with money. They hide the money to make it like a scavenger hunt. No, don't do that. Just give the people their money. If you want to tip somebody, whether you tip or not is your discretion. We're already paying the onboard gratuity. It's very nice if you decide to tip. How dare you spell out thank you or whatever? Look, let's be clear about this. The reason people do that is so they can take a fun picture or video of it and then post it on their social media. So don't do that. Just hand somebody the money. I'm also not a real big fan of like telling everybody how much you tipped either. Like, just tip, okay? We get it. Sean, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Got your bio. AJ and I are going to review that this weekend. We will take care of that. Ryan, cloudy in Nassau, but warm, opting to stay on board today. That's my go-to in Nassau. Sometimes I just go out and wander around the terminal there a little bit. But yeah, I don't blame you. Plenty of things to do on board. Good morning. It's good to simply be aware of what's happening in cruising. You don't have to be salacious. Yeah, no, I totally agree. If something's going on a ship, right? If there's something coming up or something that's going on, they don't get a good grade on the ship, something like that, we'll 100% talk about that without being salacious about it. My thing is if somebody dies, and in this situation, there was a sexual abuse thing, right? So something like that happens. It's not our place to talk about. It's not my story. right? So I'm going to stay away from those things. It doesn't affect the upcoming cruise. It's not affecting anything that you're going on. It's terrible people, and terrible people are everywhere, right? 99.9% of the people are great. There are terrible people everywhere. So, it is what it is. Those things we don't cover because those are personal, private things for people's families. If something happens on a cruise, like something's upcoming or happening, of course we're going to talk about it. Yeah, those prices are going up. There's something wrong with the cruise ship. It's dirty, something like that. By all means, I'm just talking about tragedy. We're just not going to talk about tragedy on these different things. Things happen all the time. Bob, hi, John. Emily and Dakota left yesterday on adventure of the seas. Thank you very much. I will have a good time on Prima. I hope I do anyway. I hope they have a great time on adventure. I love adventure. It's a little smaller than my Independence that I was just on, barely a little bit smaller, but I love adventure. It's a really, really great ship. I hope they have an amazing time. Next bit of cruise news is Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas has entered dry dock. It got there in Southeast Asia. It's in Singapore doing dry dock March 22nd. This is just routine maintenance. It's the 10 years in service. It's going to do inspections, just get some cleanups, fix a bunch of things. So this should be done October. If it takes that long, then we're in trouble. It should be done April 13th. It's going to kick off a repositioning voyage to Japan. So just getting a good little cleanup, right? Everything's going to go a little bit better and get much, much, much better. So that's great. Next bit of cruise news. This is a really interesting one, and I talk about this quite a bit. Speaking of toxicity, Matt Hochberg talked about it this week about people joining Facebook groups and why he doesn't do it. So one of the things that he said is there's a lot of bad information. There's trolling. There's arguments. It just gets toxic. So in my opinion, I agree. So I used to join the Facebook groups. I think everybody knows I used to do this. So I used to join the Facebook groups, and then the day of the cruise, I would leave the group. Because the minute you get on the ship, everybody starts complaining. I got to my room and it smelled, or I got to this and something was wrong. And everybody's just complaining about everything. And it turns into this. And then people start saying, oh, shut up, you shouldn't be complaining. It just gets really bad the day of. However, I have noticed in the past few months, every time I join the group, it is worse and worse with just poor behavior, like Matt said, trolling, bad information. And you don't want to be the one that keeps going in there and correcting people, right? So sometimes people are great. They give great information. And a lot of times they don't. And my last one, I joined the Prima one a few weeks ago. I was like, let me see if there's anything going on. Because we have this really late embarkation because the ship's coming up. So I was like, let me jump in there and see if anybody's talking about it, see what's going on. That had different information than me. So I jump in there, and the second post I see is the moderator of the group was like, hey, we have like 3 or 4 travel agents that are in this group. And they wanted to know if they could set up like individual meetings with everybody to talk to them about their travel agency. And I'm like, first of all, as a travel agent, we are absolutely not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to jump in these groups and solicit. Nobody should be soliciting in these groups. These groups should be for information, not for people to sell you something, whether it's t-shirts, whether it's travel agency services, anything like that. That's not what these groups are for. These groups are for information, for people to get together, have fun on a cruise. The rules of the group strictly state you shouldn't be soliciting anybody or selling anything. And a bunch of the people were like, no, I don't want to set up a meeting with these whoever these travel agents are. And then you see in the comments, the travel agents are like, hey, I'm a travel agent, contact me if you want. And I'm like, no, this is not the way we go about doing business. So I agree with Matt. I am officially over these Facebook groups. I used to really enjoy Cruise Critic back in the day when we didn't have so much Facebook. We didn't have a bunch of social media. And they had boards. And on the boards for Cruise Critic, you could join these boards. And they would have, similar to some of the things they have now, right? They would have a meetup of the group. And the group had a lot of leverage. So the officers would be there. They would have like a cocktail party. They would do like a gift exchange, a slot pull, a bunch of different things. So I used to love those. And I thought they were great. And I used to go to the meetups. And generally, you know how it is when you get on a cruise ship, everybody's awesome. You meet great people. So I used to love those things. And it's sad that they don't really exist in the same fashion anymore. And now it becomes this toxic, terrible place. But Yeah, I think I'm done with the groups, sadly, because I think sometimes there's really great information there. But what are you gonna do? Tony said, "Yeah, I joined the roll call pages, but only if I know who set it up." Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, if you have a really good moderator, they're great because they filter out all this stuff. I was in one last year. I think it was on Norwegian Joy, and it was really good. The person who set it up was really good, and they filtered out all that stuff. Anytime there was arguments or whatever, they kicked people out. It was great. And I just don't have the time. Like a lot of people are like, why don't you set up the groups for the cruises you're going on? First of all, I don't book like the people set up those groups like a year and a half ahead. I don't know who does it. I'm sure most of the time it's people trying to sell people stuff anyway, which is part of the problem. But I don't, yeah, I generally don't have the time or the energy to try to moderate those groups either. I don't want to be involved in that stuff. Just seems like a drag. Next bit of cruise news. All of our cruise friends, our cruise tubers that are on the Aqua cruise that's doing the sail over, it's going to end in a different port now. It's supposed to go to Boston. It is now going to land in New York. They've had horrendous weather. And now they're coming in 3 days late. Not only are they coming in 3 days late, they're coming in 3 days late to a different port. So they're going to be getting to New York on April 7th instead of Boston on April 4th. So obviously Norwegian, if you did your air through NCL Air, which is really the only time this is a good idea to do your air through the cruise lines, they are accommodating your new flights, which is very nice. They're helping out with transfers. And then they told everybody else to contact airlines and insurance companies to help them. They are reimbursing everyone $300 per person for any airline fees that are not covered by travel insurance, which is nice. They don't have to do that, but it's nice that they're doing that, which is great. It's a bit of a nightmare. Hello, Peanut. All right. Ryan said, within hours, people were complaining about flavorless food, dirty rooms, and rocky seas. It always seems like I'm on a totally different ship. I couldn't agree more, Ryan. I mean, obviously, I've been on 77, 78 crew, whatever number I'm at. Yeah, I keep forgetting to keep track. I've certainly had bad things happen. I've certainly had bad days, bad sea days, right? Over the 78 cruises, maybe 10 or 15 bad sea days on all of those cruises combined. Maybe not even that many. I don't want to jinx myself, knock on wood. But for the most part, 90% of my days, my times, my meals, everything great. Look, they may not be perfect. And what we do on here is we come on and we tell you little variances of like, yeah, the food was okay. It was fine. In my opinion, nothing's ever terrible. It's not like the food's ever awful where I'm like, oh my God, it was freezing cold and I couldn't eat it. There are times where I get something and it's not great. There are times where people forget to give me things. There are times when it's a little bit, I have a weird smell in the room. We're on a ship in the middle of the ocean. I think people forget that sometimes. But for the most part, I think most of the experiences are amazing. And I think sometimes people just love to complain. Don't get me wrong. Some people have bad experiences, for sure. But I think the cruise lines are also really good at helping you and fixing those as well, for the most part. So yeah, people just love to complain. That's one of the big things. Next up, MSC World America has officially left France and is heading to Miami. It will get here on April the 8th. I will be on that ship on April the 9th. Hypothetically, we shall see. Now, everything looks good. Everything looks really fun. We're flying down there on the 9th. We're leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning. The biggest problem I have with it is we still don't have any information about dress code. I don't have any information about the ceremony. I don't have any information other than I think we're checking in at 8:30 at night, which I'm guessing the ship is going to leave somewhere around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe. I don't know. But it's only a 3-day cruise. We're leaving on, I don't know if it says in the app, since now I can see in the app. Departure is 11:30 at night. So we're leaving at 11:30 at night out of the brand new cruise terminal. Doesn't say anything about check-in, although my check-in was 8:30. We are arriving at 8 a.m. So quick little trip down to Ocean Key. We are staying overnight at Ocean Key. We are leaving the next day at 6 o'clock in the evening, and then we get back. And that is it. So But otherwise, we have no information. I don't know what restaurants we're trying. There's been zero info, which is fine. I think it's just going to be fun. I'm looking at it now like, who cares? Whatever. It's fine. We're getting on the ship. That's all that matters. Figure everything out. Sandy said, thank you for the information about travel insurance on the Travels channel. You are quite welcome. Thank you for watching that on our Byte Size Travels channel. I will have a cruise specific one coming out, and that one is coming out. They're very similar. Don't get me wrong. It's coming out on April 6th on the Cruises channel. But yeah, I wanted to get one done over on the Travels channel. So that one is there. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. Next bit of cruise news we have is that, speaking of World America, they did their, the acceptance ceremony where they got the ship, the delivery of the World America. So they also had the coin ceremony for the MSC World Asia while they were doing that. And then while they were doing that, they also did the steel cutting for the new ship, which is going to be MSC World Atlantic. So World Atlantic is going to be out 27, I believe, and that is going to be sailing out of Port Canaveral. So that is awesome. Super, super, super awesome. World Asia coming out 2026 in the winter. That is going to be sailing out of the winter, out of Asia, obviously. And then 2027 Caribbean cruises from Port Canaveral on MSC World Atlantic. Football, he said, are you going on World America? I am. That's what we were just talking about. I'm going on World America on April 9th. I will be on there from the 9th to the 12th on the inaugural kind of like travel agent press cruise thing, which I'm sure every cruise influencer will be on, which will be hilarious. We're not going to do anything big from that cruise. Again, if you know me, I am not trying to be the center of attention on a cruise. And we're usually pretty like stealth in videoing and doing things. So I will let all those influencers shine. We will do some video. We'll do a vlog or something about it, but it'll be 1 or 2 videos on World America. Nothing too crazy. We're not going to do it. I don't think we have time to do a ship tour. I will certainly try to do as much as I can, but that is a huge ship. So I'll get as much as I can being behind the scenes a little bit, and it should be really fun. So we shall see. But yes, we are going on World America. So there's a funny story about a couple that was on, I'm trying to figure out what ship they were on here. They were on a Royal Caribbean ship, and they went to a art auction. Mistake number 1. They went to the art auction. So they said the wife and I went, and 2 kids attended the part. Why did you take your kids to an art auction? Your kids must hate you for taking them to an art auction. The whole family was drawn to a piece of art. Someone came over to assist. They sold it. They were really selling it to us. They provided the reserve lowest price, and we decided to bid on it. They bid $650. Someone else bid $7, so they bid $750. The company later informed them that both bidding groups had won the auction at $650. I love when they do this. It's the biggest scam ever. So then, of course, they were told they were getting it for $650. Then they were shown the artwork, and it didn't look like the original. Then the company said, we made a mistake, and the price in the auction was wrong. It's actually $2,700. This kind of stuff happens all the time. So they felt like they got ripped off, which I totally feel why they would feel that way. Here's my opinion. Look, you can go to the art auction, whatever. It's a way to get a free glass of champagne, whatever. You can guess the weight of the thing on every ship, whatever. They all have Park West, except for MSC. All the art's the same on all the cruise ships. You can literally get those pieces of art. Look, here's the thing. Those are not real paintings. Somebody didn't paint that. It's not like Peter Max painted that ship or the strawberries in the high heel, and they painted that, and it's a 1 of 10 on board the ship. Those are prints. They're just printing those. It's not like somebody painted. Those aren't real paintings. They're not worth thousands of dollars. You could get them on the internet. You could find those prints on the internet for $100, $200, whatever. Don't buy those things. You're not buying a Thomas Kincaid painting. It's just a print. There are thousands of those prints. You can get them made by a printer. So Don't do that. Go to the art auction, grab your free glass of champagne, listen to the spiel. It's like going to a timeshare thing, right? Do whatever you want to do if you're going to do it. We do the little the art scavenger hunt where you have to find like the different things in the painting on NCL. We do that all the time. They give you a little picture at the end. Who cares? We probably wind up never taking it home, but it's fun to do it. It gives you something to do on the cruise. But for sure, don't buy those paintings. Those are not paintings. We're not art experts. You're not getting some exclusive piece of art that's on every single cruise ship. Ryan said, literally got 8 flyers last night for the art auction, so we get rid of daily programs to reduce waste and print 8 times more paperwork for the auctions. 100% agreed. It's so silly. I get phone calls, like 3 or 4 phone calls in my cabin. Just wanted to remind you about the art auction. Cool. Not going. Tony said, probably trying to get the kids to fall asleep by taking them to the art auction. Yeah, maybe it was like the Disney one or something. Who knows? Because they do a couple of them. But yeah, it's just silly. Sandy said you can take a picture of it and print it yourself. You can, for sure. You can find them online. It's so easy. Like if you go, I do this all the time. So you do the, yeah, there's a bunch of them. They're all on, all the Park West ones are on here. If you Google Park West paintings from cruise ships, that'll take you down a little rabbit hole of everybody taking pictures and everything of them. Yeah. Don't waste your money on that, on the art on board cruise ship. I should do a whole video on that. What a waste that is. They would probably get mad at me though for doing that. I don't care. Who cares? MSC is the only people that invite me on things. So, and they don't have Park West. So no one else is. Why do I care? So Princess has canceled at least a dozen voyages out of Galveston. So these are pretty interesting. So Galveston has become a real priority. Princess decided to take a little break from the port. I'm not sure what exactly is going on here. They scrapped 15 voyages in 2026-27 on the Majestic Princess. They're calling it a deployment strategy, which means they may be moving it somewhere else. But it's weird that they set them up and then didn't, although Regal Princess is sailing out of Galveston. So it's not like they're making a huge change there. You never know. Sometimes things get chartered. It's always strange to me when you see these little type of things pop up. But yeah, if you had needed any information on that, there you go. Carnival has expanded its fleet again. They've added the 2 P&O ships officially to the fleet. They've officially been renamed Carnival Adventure and Carnival Encounter. They're going to be going on their maiden voyages. These are out of Australia. They're leaving. They're going to be homeporting in Sydney and Brisbane. So if you are interested in going on a Carnival cruise, but you want to go to Australia, 2 birds, 1 stone. There you go. You can check it out there, and that will be really fun. Next up, Norwegian has withdrawn its first ship from its fleet in 15 years. It's the 7 Seas Navigator. If you didn't know, Norwegian owns 7 Seas. It's going to make its last trip in 2026. And it is really interesting to me. This is the first ship that has been retired since 2010. I think we're going to start seeing this a little more in the next few years. Some of these older ships, maybe even some of the Royal ones with all the new ships coming on, you're going to see some of these old ships being sold off and going away, which is fine. I think it's fine. There are a lot of cruise ships out there now, and we're going to continue to get them. Obviously, we have all these world ships coming out for MSC. We keep hearing about the Constellation class for MSC, which is going to be even bigger. We have the Discovery class, which hasn't been announced yet for Royal, plus all the Norwegian ships that are coming out. I think it's totally fine if we start retiring, although let's drop the prices a little bit. Next up, Celebrity has canceled Labadee in 25 and 26. It's really interesting. I don't know why they're doing this. So they've said to provide you with a better experience. They're changing everything from Labadee to Grand Turk and Turks and Caicos, which is very nice. They're both very nice places. And everybody's like, oh, it's because of the issues. That's not the case because Royal's still going there. Royal owns Celebrity. It might be the demographic of Celebrity doesn't want to go to Labadee, or maybe they're starting like a slow withdrawal from Labadee because of the bad stuff that's going on there, but I haven't heard any more information on that. I'll let everybody know if I do. Black Broadway Lady said, are there any other MSC ships besides Meraviglia that depart from New York? Information on major cruise lines supporting on New York City would be very helpful. Never flying to Florida. So no, not right now. There are not. MSC is only has Meraviglia there, and in 2026 in the summer, Meraviglia won't even be there. It is going to the Mediterranean. So nothing will be there for that, which is interesting to me. I'm not sure what they're doing. I'm sure something else is going to come up to New York at some point. But you have a lot of options out of New York. You have Princess that goes out of New York. You have Cunard that goes out of Brooklyn up there. Princess goes out of Brooklyn as well. You have lots of options there. You have NCL Disney out of Manhattan. You have some Princess out of Manhattan. If you go to, there is a website. I'm going to throw it in the chat. Pull this up. I use this one all the time. This is you can click up top. This is Manhattan, but they have Manhattan and they have Brooklyn. But you can go through and you'll see Norwegian has Escape, Epic Prima, Aqua. Viking has a ship going out of New York. Getaway goes out of New York for Norwegian. Carnival Venezia. Silver Sea has the Dawn. There's some interesting other cruise lines that go out of there. Silver Shadow. Viking Neptune. Seven Seas. Norwegian Stars coming up here in July. There's a lot of them. And then if you click on Brooklyn, you can go in there and they have a Brooklyn schedule. So you have Cunard, the Queen Mary's there, Island Princess, some different ones out of there. Interesting ones. Ryan said, no ship scheduled after Meraviglia. They dumped tons of money in advertising and sponsoring for the Knicks. Maybe it was a flop. It was not. So I will tell you that their marketing campaign with the Knicks was huge, and they're continuing to invest money in the New York market. My guess is something else is going to come up here. Nothing's been announced yet. But with all these new ships, with World America coming in and World Atlantic coming in soon to Port Canaveral, I'm hoping Seascape or Seashore or something comes up here, because I think they value the New York market a lot. So no, it wasn't a flop. They are still sponsoring the Knicks. So, and with all the money they're dumping into World America right now, I don't think it's a mistake at all. So I think there will be something else. It just hasn't been announced yet. That shoe hasn't dropped yet. We shall see. They have a lot of ships. They're going to continue investing in North America. They are going to be the biggest cruise line in the world in the next 5 to 10 years. So they're slowly but surely coming up and getting all this done. Tony said you always have the Circle Line and the Staten Island Ferry. Yes, by all means, you can go back and forth on the Staten Island Ferry all day. That's a fun little cruise there. So great. So funny. That is the cruise news for this morning, Sunday morning. We will be on the Prima on Tuesday. We'll do something live on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think we're going to try to do the live stream on Wednesday, depending on the internet on board the ship. We will go live on Tuesday at some point. And then I'll have the rest of the Independence of the Seas videos coming out this week, and then we'll kick into Prima. And that'll be it. AJ and I will be on the Prima, and then I will be on the World America the following week. And that is our schedule. So we will see everybody later this week. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day today. Hope the weather is nice wherever you are. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.